Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's Cashflow Digital, sponsored by ODYS over in the corner over there.
End up here again.
In an age domain and so on. Yeah, give it a touch. But we are joined by Brad and Mike, and Brad, you've got nfgwebinar.com hanging about under there. Now, I'm going to just ask this question publicly because someone asked me it. So, for someone, a neutral sitting in the background, what does your webinar contain that no one else is contained? So, someone's like, this thing Brad and Mike are going to be bringing out.
It contains my peers.
Yeah, that's not already out there. What the fuck's in there? That's what we want to know.
So it's we're taking the opportunity to take core updates and make it a time for us to dominate our lead building and our on page and stay up to date constantly and avoid everything that's all the loss there. And it's a method that ensures that you understand what sentiment, intent, and topic your page should absolutely have and what everyone is doing wrong.
Why is it important to know that, Mike?
Because if you aren't hitting all of this and you don't understand how Google is programmatically collecting this data and putting it together to deliver a SERP, they're updating. The web is dynamic now. Some markets is almost all the time. Other markets is a few months behind, but the web is completely dynamic. It shifts constantly. I think we were seeing people posting in NFG last week about this is pretty perfect for showing graphs and this is what's happening with this. Since core, this and that, blah, 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 blah. But you'll see people that'll have a hit and a recovery, then a hit, and then somewhat of a recovery. And then you'll see people that have a hit, they don't have a hit and they just keep going up, or they have a recovery and a hit, and then they come back up and they keep going up. And there's just very specific, somewhat laid out simple answers to why that's happening. And so we put a process together that's easy to understand that people can do.
My biggest thing is the ability to pivot quickly. So the update's coming out, intent might change and you've got the correct intent today, but tomorrow you might not have it. So how the hell are you going to say they pivot intent? How are you going to quickly and easily go in there, update your content, and then either don't get hit at all or bounce back or higher to where you were?
So it's almost impossible to do that if you don't understand the difference between the query intent,
yes,
the programmatical intent, and the user intent, and how those kind of come together in the back end of Google to how they meet the needs of their user. Once you understand what those two are, and then the needs are met in a certain way by Google, then you can start to craft pages and links and networks based on what Google is doing in the decisions that you're making programmatically to deliver dynamic SERPs.
Simple as that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't sound that simple, but hey, sounds interesting. But
I don't care about, honestly, I don't give a shit about the math behind it or anything. It's good to know, but as far as okay, on the front end, what do I have to do when there's an update?
Yep, it's the process, and once you understand it and you do it, you can literally do the process quickly or automate the process. It also is one of the big reasons why people have trouble with their mass page, AI generated content. I mean, it's just, once you understand how to put that in there and you get the data through a simple process with the tools you already have or whatever you want to use to do it, because it's not limited to any specific products or anything. It's just get this data, put it on this place, get this data, put it on this place. It's just a process layout, SOPs. And then now it goes into everything you do. And it will make your AI content stronger. It will make your network stronger, your link building stronger, your pages stronger, your site stronger. White hat, black hat, site generation or not. It's needed and people are missing it. I'm gonna do what I want.
Does that answer your question, Craig?
What? No, yeah, no, it was just people were asking me what the fuck's in it, and I'm like, I don't know.
This is 919293.
So there's your answer for anyone who wants to know what's in there. So
when people ask me what's in it, I say it's $97. Just buy it.
We're gonna give you SOPs and you're also, so it basically, I think the simple answer is your content's going to be better than other people's, and your link building is going to be better than other people's, and you're going to understand how the link marketplaces are ripping you off right now, because they are.
Yeah.
Most of them are using a particular tactic to make you think a site is quality when it's actually not quality, and if you don't know that, then you're spending more than you need to. So we're saving you money, essentially. We'll make you more money and save you money.
Hey, Glenn, did you get my my email back? I emailed you back this weekend. Or not weekend, sorry, this morning. The weekend feels like the morning. Yeah, and the biggest thing is, so I've had this happen, especially, it seems to be happening more and more lately, where you're on a potential client call. So they're not a client yet. You're on the sales call, whatever you want to call it, the kind of a feeling out process, because I got to decide if I want to work with them as well. The number one question I've seen happen a lot, and it's either people that have been in the game for a while and then they got hit, and they're looking at all this new competition. Actually, that's typically where this question comes from. The new competition is just like seemingly overnight popped up, and they're outranking and they're killing it and everything. You look at the backlink profile; their backlink profile is not as strong as ours. Their content's not as good as ours, which of course it doesn't matter what they think about the content.
Why?
And the big thing is, okay, in Google's eyes, what's going to make the content better? How are we going to put everything on the page that needs to be there to beat these guys out? What are they doing along with the rest of do you look at top 10 or top 100, Mike, when you do the scan?
We take the top 20 at minimum, but that's where I'd recommend being, is top 20.
Yeah. So you take what's the top 20 doing, and then you analyze that data, and you just essentially duplicate what they're doing on your page, and then it puts you back up to where you were.
So what the whole thing is that Google is a recommendation engine, and they're here to meet user needs, and what the user needs changes freaking all the time. If you're in, so like, programmatically, what's a YMML? Your money or your life site. Like, what is that? And what?
I feel like that group of categories is ever expanding.
It does, and there's different things. There's different expertise. It's this whole EAT thing that's not a real concept that they have put together, and people call it a thing, where it's actually just a group of 3 things applied to different shit, and you can literally see visually what they need and just kind of throw through and fix these things when Medic happened, when these last things, like the 11th, the last 3 weeks, or like about 3 weeks ago, they did some stuff too with linking. So the stuff they've done with the linking recently, all the link stuff they've changed, all of the losses on core, and how they say, hey, there's not a penalty there. It's not a penalty. It's a thing about like how people don't understand why things should be fresh, or how Google determines what your money or your life is, and what should be on that page if you lose traffic in a market like casino or a market like crypto. What do I do to that page? A lot of it's go build links, go do this, go do that. No, let's look at it and just say, okay, this is all that I need to add here, and tweak this. This needs to go there, and it's done. Tune it up, and it's done. And you can do that on a regular basis, right? Tweak. And so that's where everyone's
Mike's always tweaking.
Yeah, that's where they're missing their shit, is not understanding what they need to grab there or how to find it.
My big thing is like, okay, great, I've got to go in and fucking add a shit ton of content to all of my pages, and that's not the case. It's just like, add these few things and you're good. It shifts the intent slightly on your page and puts you back to where you need to be.
Yeah, it's actually really is a fun time in SEO, because they've made SEO a lot easier if you understand like the way it works through the background. You don't even have to understand that. You just have to know what.
It's better to understand it, to be honest, but you don't have to.
The process of gathering the information and then implementing the information, if you have that and understand it, then you don't need to sit there like all these people talking about how I've lost 80% of my traffic, or I gained it back, they reset it, but now it's back down again and I don't understand it. There's some really.
I love it when they're just looking at the traffic on the site. They're like, I've lost X% of my traffic. Okay, is your revenue been affected? Not at all. It's actually up a little.
I can show
okay,
you.
perfect. They took you out for terms that you shouldn't have been ranking for.
Yep, that's exactly right. So like you'll see a ton of stuff that is like late ranking for less keywords. Like the keyword rankings are all the way down, but the traffic's up, and that's an indicator of many things. Like the site is targeting properly, and Google is getting better in that market, and they're shifting the way they understand the market. And so when you can look visually and say, okay, there's been a change, I lost traffic here. Oh shit, it shifted. They understand it different. Let me fix this. Now we're basically just trying to understand Google is our whole job now, is to understand what Google does and make decisions based on why Google's making those decisions. And so when you pull that out and you do that, you're letting Google do your optimization for you, basically.
Any advice for those that are using AI writing software for niche sites? I'd assume there are footprints from AI copywriting software, and they become more obvious to Google the more AI content we publish. What are you guys doing to check? Or do you even check? Do you use huggingface.com or anything like that? Yeah.
Is that a program? Hugging Face?
I'm deadly serious, yeah. Come on.
That reminds me of The Simpsons.
Like,
did you watch The Simpsons where he's like, yeah, is Amanda there? Amanda who? Amanda Hug and Kiss. And then Mo's like, I need Amanda Hug and Kiss.
If you're doing this shit right, you don't have to worry about that. Like realistically, you don't have to worry about that. There's like local sites lately that are spin packs that are generated off AI that are programmatically built, and as long as you're actually feeding the right shit into it, it's what you feed into it and continue to feed into it, because it's not good enough to just build and go anymore. And you if you don't analyze properly, you are going to miss certain key indicators that dictate what needs to be on the page for Google to push them up in organic and the map pack. And yes, you can get there without doing it, but then when you're there, or to as far as you can by kind of half-assing it, how do I get further? I'm down.
I half-ass everything. I just do 3 times as much, so I come out ahead.
Yeah, right. There's times where you're stuck.
That's 4/3 of an ass, I think.
Like D or E and like 8 or 9 or whatever, and you've done everything right. Like you don't see anything else to do. In those situations, when you throw something in there, and you look at the data, like you see one little fucking thing you need to add into that fucking set of the keywords or whatnot, the cluster of the keywords on the page, and it will pull up the site because now you have done it and you've done everything a little bit better, but you were just locked out because you did not meet their expectations of what needs to be there.
How often do you see that it's simply just the media types that are on the page, Mike?
It's pretty often, depending on the market. I would say it depends on the market. It depends on on that, and it depends on what the intent of literally what the intent of the user is. Because like I see pages that are literally off the concept of what Google thinks the programmatic or the query intent type is, and if you're off of that query intent type, you're fucked. And then you get into other things with the like user intent type, which is, the kind of stuff we talk about a lot. So if you're off that first type of intent for like how Google kind of classifies the web, you're just fucked. Like you can't do anything about it. And there's other factors to take into consideration than what we talk about as SEOs. And it's kind of how they hide that shit in like web core vitals and things like this, because there's factors on different devices and things like that come into play. But yeah, it's media type is huge, and so is the device type. It can make or break a page, a piece of content for sure.
Anyway, the OpenAI detector Hugging Face Alyssa, for GPT-2, which is kind of very outdated for now. No, is GPT-2? Well, you're right, Alyssa,
I would prefer GPT-2 or another offshoot of built something that there's a couple things built off of GPT-3 shifting, and like with GPT-4 coming out, there's some other shit coming out like that has been in a project base. GPT-3 is like really resource intensive. I think there's better business decisions than GPT-3. That's just me.
But everyone's going to have different opinions, Alyssa. But that is just a small suggestion of something you can use to see if your content writer is indeed using some form of AI content. But of course,
I paid my content writers to use AI. I gave them access to Surfer.
I wouldn't be scared of using AI content if they're cheating you and you're paying for
Yeah.
content. That's where I would be.
I'm paying fucking next to nothing. So
what AI right? So here in my mastermind, someone came up with a new AI content writing tool, and what it spat out was fucking awesome. But what are you guys using? Is it still Jarvis or?
Yeah, Surfer. I don't even know. Like I said, I don't even know how to use Surfer. I just, my guy puts it together and sends, posts the article, interlinks it the way I tell him to, and then it's done from there. Then I can.
I honestly don't give a shit, to be honest. And whoever is doing work for us can use whatever the fuck they want.
Whatever they're comfortable with.
As long as they're doing the processes we want them to do, I don't care where they're getting it from, because it's not about that. The tools are not. It's not about the tools. It's not about. I mean, if you're putting out shit that is complete garbage and there's a lack of quality, and if someone looks at it and they say, okay, this is written by a piece of shit machine or something, then you're
when I write it, they look at it and just say this was written by a piece of shit, not a machine.
Exactly. That's not. Yeah, go ahead.
The one thing I was going to say, there was an argument in the group of people who were arguing like this AI content made up some completely non-factually correct bullshit. It was just making shit up.
Can happen.
Well, fuck you, but that's not the AI's fault. That's the user's fault. I'll tell you that right now. Unless they're just pressing a button that doesn't give them a market. If they're not feeding the right data in, it doesn't matter what they use. They will
in, shit out. Yeah.
Anyway, so it does not matter. I can take your content off of your website and put it on my website and make it rank. It's not about the tool. It is about the knowledge of the person operating and feeding the data into the tool and the libraries that they build. Like the way we've done it traditionally is we'll scrape for a market and then we'll feed a database full of that content, right? So we have all the content that comes off the web in that market, and then that gets fed into different things to break it apart and split it apart how we want it split apart, and then that feeds the writer, and the writer is what spits out the content at the end. If I feed that a bunch of bad data, then it's going to spit something bad out that's never going to rank, or it's going to rank for a little bit and you're going to drop in 3 or 4 months. Like there's a life cycle for AI content when it's not good. And when that AI content is on bad data, it's done no matter what writes it. It will lose traffic no matter what you use. It doesn't.
That's the same with spinners too, especially from back in the day.
So it's all about the donor content, basically.
The donor content.
It's not even about the donor content. I would say it is about the donor content, but it's about using the right donor content and then following that and down like all the way through every part of the steps. I would say it's like as long as you aren't feeding it the wrong shit, then you're good. If you're feeding it the right shit, it's like feeding a fucking like little furry thing after midnight. It turns into a gremlin, and that's what your fucking AI content will do. If you give it the wrong food.
Nick saying, I thought AI was supposed to do it all for you so you could go to the pub early.
It's not AI.
Nick, just go to the pub and don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Come home drunk.
I see people like talking about like posting content. My AI decided to get a conscience here or that. And it's like just funny because like you can see what they're feeding it to make it do this shit. Like it's not AI. It's fucking machine learning, dude. Like it's in there. It's around it. It's not AI. But yeah. I don't want AI, dude, because it'll fucking take over the world.
Have you seen that Johnny Depp movie? Scary stuff.
That one with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it too.
Is he in it too? Is that Total Recall?
That old one from the 80s where he's.
I like Total Recall.
So I've got one last thing. I just want to push Mike's buttons one more time just to see him kick off again. So someone else in this group was like, no, you have to use something that spits out GPT-3 because it's more factually correct. Is that still bullshit?
It's all bullshit, dude. It's what you feed it. All this shit is fed with something.
SEO is bullshit.
There's shit that is so much cheaper to run that is almost as large as GPT-3. And whatever. Yeah, go use GPT-3.
Honestly, if it makes you feel better and it gives you the results you want, use.
Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't matter. As long like Brad uses fucking SERP Shaker, right?
Someone asked me.
It's better AI than GPT-3, dude.
Yeah, they sent me a message like, "Do you have a lander for Surf Shaker? I can't find one. I found some old janky one." Yeah, I was like, "I think this will work." Yeah.
My favorite was always WP Snowball. Let's get people looking for WP Snowball. That thing would build like 1 million pages on WordPress and crash your site, dude. It was rad, dude. You just like put it going and give it a library and it would go.
Blogs.
It was crazy, dude. It turned into like, it worked at one point, and then once they kind of like updated their knowledge and like Google I think this was like 2015 or something, they updated, and all of a sudden every site that had that on there was tanked because it just didn't work.
Did you use Unique Article Wizard, Craig, back in the day to build links?
Fuck yeah.
You ever use that? That was sweet.
No.
I like Instant Article Wizard was the shit, dude.
Oh, yeah. Instant Article Wizard. Yeah.
You just sit there or get someone sitting there and you'd have your little fucking keyboard and you just type in a query. It would scrape for you and you drag it over, rewrite it. And like you could write so fast.
No, this is link building.
I absolutely did article link building.
Yeah. Loved it.
But
it's what that is. That's just guest posting on a different type of site, dude.
Mm-hmm. I used to use all those janky services. I'd get like PBN links for like $7 or whatever, and it'd just be like, I want a PR4, and then like you pay like $7 to $10 for it, and like you look at their blog roll and it's just scroll and scroll. You're like, oh, there's my link, but it's pushing, so who cares? Loved it.
Yeah,
I used to hate that PR bullshit. Sitting waiting for months for that fucking thing to update.
I never would watch. I only use PR when I would order links. So I'm you want a PR4 or PR5 or whatever. Throw a few of those at any domain back in the day and would push. Huh?
Fucking digital decks at the bottom, dude.
Boomers. SEOboomers.com.
I feel like 2015 and 16 is like the new days of SEO. I'm old, dude. My wife.
16.
You got a fucking white hair coming out of your nose. Go fix yourself.
I told you I don't even do it. Fuck, SEO is a fugazi.
Yeah, it is.
It's all bullshit.
Doesn't even exist, dude.
Yeah, just do it and don't worry about it. You're doing it right. You're doing it wrong. Everyone is. It's curation.
It's not.
Just Google News. How's your Google News shit going, Craig? Have you seen like a bump in traffic and shit?
Not really. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I've not really checked it in a few weeks, but
yeah,
it's not.
You continuously publishing though, like balls out.
Yeah.
When we did it, we did it for an ultra spammy niche, and then we connected it to Google News, and then like immediately the impressions and all the mental masturbation stuff went up in GSC. So
yeah, and it's kind of interesting when like a company does that, and I find them. I saw one like last week. They're a good target for cleaning up and becoming an SEO client because eventually they'll shoot themselves in the foot. It's kind of like blogging without a plan after time. You're just feeding everything in the world in there. So getting everyone to do that is probably a good idea for the SEO industry.
Easy, cheap.
Just want to check. When did I get that done? Maybe about 3 months ago.
Few months, yeah.
Let me fucking check the last 12 months.
I can tell you right now, I was just looking at one, it's doing very well. But I am cleaning it up. I am kind of pulling stuff and combining pages after they publish.
Well, yeah, it's auto-published, so I mean we can go in and tweak whatever we want.
It's a great way to determine, like, if you can determine what to go after with how that stuff responds. It's a good way to kind of do investigative work.
What I'd like to do is test some AdSense shit on that stuff.
Which one?
Throw AdSense on the auto shit that we've been testing. We're getting impressions and everything. So
yeah, no,
to see what kind of...
I actually have some up on Just Lutz, dude, internally, like right now, and the shit it's very interesting, especially after something's aged. Like that's one of the things in the like we're going to talk about on the third night is the difference in linking right now. Not just like how people are kind of faking stuff, but also like really what's like causing it like 4,000, 5,000% increase in traffic and in clicks and shit. And it's like you can really take advantage of that shit right now. It's pretty sick.
Dude, you know what's crazy is spam ass links from Fiverr are working like gangbusters right now.
Yeah.
Up 27 spots, up 25 spots, up 78 spots, up 52 spots. And this is rehab. Debuted at 37, 53 to 37. So up 16 spots, up 29 spots. It's fucking crazy. Good stuff. Maybe we'll release it someday.
Earning with learning.
Earning with the learning. Who's giving away a 90 plus?
No, he's telling me to do it.
We can do that. I mean, you just go post it on a Web 2.0.
That's what I was going to say. That's exactly what I was thinking. I'll give you one. I don't know if it will help you.
No, it won't, probably. If I were a betting man. CCTLD domain. Yeah, you could probably do it, I would assume.
You talking? I guess I'd want more details before I answer.
This is a .cc. Theoretically, yes, you could.
But
SEO answers, it depends.
Can you suggest international SEO strategies? Look at Amazon. That's all I'm going to say.
Exactly. Well, and with what the updates have been happening, like you should be paying attention to certain things like old tricks when it comes to like localization and canonical type stuff, because there's some stuff going on right now with what they've done, and you can see it in some of their warnings that they give. Like there's people asking like, what do I do if the wrong canonical versions are indexed and yada yada yada, this and that. There's some really interesting stuff going on with pagination too. Like there's additional traffic and it gives a little indication of like be careful with some stuff, but it's pretty interesting. So yeah, I would not be upset about using subdomains on anything at this point either.
But Harish, as I say, international SEO, check Amazon. What do they do? .co.uk for the UK, .com for America, .de for Germany, and so on and so on and so on would be the strategy that I would follow. But
I can confirm it too, because I've dealt with stuff since like May that lost tons of traffic based on internal site localization. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it definitely is. It has caused issues for people if they're not doing their content properly across the site with the localization. Like if it doesn't match up, or if it does match up, there's a different indications for it. So going different domains and localizing that way would be probably optimal if you're starting from the beginning.
Digital Dex is asking, did he just hear Fiverr links?
Who's the fucking boomer now? Digital? Yeah, Fiverr. Fiverr gig, spun content, easy peasy.
$100 Fiverr gig on the site I was looking at earlier, or that was last week. The one that Brad did in a financial like top 5 CPC market, did an additional, I would say 300-400 clicks a week since the $100 gig.
Now we need to fucking throw AdSense on that.
So
at least. Yeah, this other one is the rehab with Fiverr links.
Brad, you're a Fiverr guy. Do you reckon if Mike was to stop working with you and you had to start afresh, you could make good money, just use the Fiverr gigs, you wouldn't do fuck all else?
I could, yeah.
You can make a good living.
I make a good living without Mike anyway, Craig. I don't need Mike. I'm my own. I'm INDEPENDEN.
You're coming to the event this year, aren't you, dude?
Yeah.
Who, me? I'm not.
No, you're not. I don't want you there, dude.
I'm coming to be
my
his
shirt. Yeah. Good luck.
Just remember that.
I'm gonna get a thong for
Please
the beach.
don't. The beach. Let's get away.
Yeah,
Fiverr links. Honestly, on Fiverr, you can go and you can find your domains. You can get content plans. You can fucking get content. You can get auto shit up and running where you're getting stuff, and then you can get links. So yeah, you can get everything on Fiverr.
There's an article that is interesting. Let's see. Search crazy effective. Marcus.
Yeah, I spent way too much time learning and messing around with GSA. Like I looked back at it and it was beneficial at the time because I was ranking Amazon products with it and shit. But I look back, I'm like, dude, I spent so much time, effort, money, everything on GSA. I'm like, for what? You know? So, but you got to go down those rabbit holes too. I did learn a lot. So, but yeah, Fiverr works well.
There's some actually, I was doing a patent run yesterday while I was looking at some shit, and there was some really fucking interesting shit around social media that Google released in Japan, like in one of their subsidiaries. There's some cool shit they're doing, man. Like, and the implications is funny because the implications, like what the broad cores are or the cores are, that's when they start tweaking and putting in the stuff they've been testing in different markets and building in different markets. And you can see some of the grants that they've been granted recently, and some of the patent extensions like really fit what's going on with the core stuff. When people are complaining about right now. So there's a question. Sorry, I was reading it.
Out of the box, does adding keywords to your chatbot on your website work?
I guess if you had if you have it in the template, I don't think that I've ever played around with trying to do anything there. I wouldn't think that it's going to associate personally.
That is out of literally thinking outside the box, though, right? It's not something I've tried either.
So the reason I say I don't think it would is because the chatbot is an HTML and script that is embedded on your page.
It's hosted externally, though, right?
And,
so it never actually shows up.
The HTML, like what's on the page, is going to count right there. It's going to call the data out of the back end from a database that you're using to feed that AI, because it's a bot, just like everything else, right? So it's pulling it in. Now, I'm not saying that they're not doing really cool shit with voice and that kind of technology, and they are doing shit around this, but I don't think that that's touching anything that we're doing at this point on most devices, at least. So,
in a roundabout way, you get the user on the page, and with the chatbot there, theoretically, the user experience is going to be better, and you're going to get less bounce back, more interaction. So from there, you could probably say that, yes, it helps your SEO, but as far as putting keywords in there, I can't see how it would help.
Craig's a dick for not letting us into his mastermind, bro.
Yeah, we keep asking. It's not like we need him anyway.
Every day, dude.
I've got Fiverr.
Fuck you, Mike.
What do you mean? I won't let. What you talking about? You won't do my mastermind?
He wouldn't let us in. He said we're trying to keep a certain standard around here, boys.
Dude, I have this told me once, like, he looked at me, he was with this chick, and I'm like probably 17, he's like 19, and I look at him, I'm like, yeah, I got standards, man. You got to have standards in life.
He just said that to you randomly?
And started reminiscing about being a child.
I don't know what mastermind you're talking about, though. But back to the bot thing. Les is saying how it's coded, how it's crawled, and rendered eventually for the bots.
Actually, damn it, I was going to play the joke now. He made me want to do it, but yeah. There's only one. It's WP Chatbot is the only one that does it right. For sure.
I would say.
How was your event, dude? How was the speaking engagement south of not the border, but me?
Barcelona. It was good, man. I was speaking with, Eric Sue or Siu or whatever he's called.
Yeah, no.
Nah, come on, man.
Weren't you on his show?
Me? Oh, the dude, the SEO.
Eric Siu, SIU. He's something to do with Neil Patel.
Don't know.
He's always with Neil Patel, and he's now into crypto and all that. But I was talking.
Is that the guy always sitting on his lap?
Yeah.
It's fucking like a marionette.
But nah, the event was good. I was speaking with this guy on. He's had a similar length of experience as me. He's had an agency. He then does a bit of that. So he's now dabbling in NFTs in the crypto space, which I don't do. So it was quite interesting to hear his.
Is that dead, or is people still making money with NFTs? I feel like that went.
I mean, I think it's probably too early to say. It's like crypto when it came out, it went up, then fell away, and then kind of has crawled back. I think it'll be similar, but it's not for me, man. There's plenty of money to be made in the online game without worrying about NFTs and fucking crypto.
Plenty of money selling picks and shovels too.
Yeah, just spend your money in Fiverr gigs. And
honestly, yeah, I told Mike, I said I'm gonna find some good gigs. So I went out and I ordered, like, how much did I spend? Do you remember, Mike? Like a couple grand at least on those. Yeah, I've got some good ones. I'm glad I did.
Dude, I love the fact, like, my wife and I started a couple companies recently, and I'm regretting one of them because I keep finding the cleaners. Craig, guess what I was doing yesterday evening? Fucking and
fucking toilets. Jesus.
I was cleaning a goddamn property last night. But
what kind of accent do you use when you are cleaning?
Right. It's Russian.
Okay, good.
But,
the good cleaners.
But I did find it was good to do it because I found out that they're charging too much money. So they're spending. I figured out what they're doing. They're fucking waiting around for the laundry to finish, and so I'm cutting that out of their list, and I'm gonna save like $25 a session, dude. So
you're gonna be fucking doing laundry now?
No. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna have my.
I thought you're getting paid based on gross, not net.
What's that?
I thought you're getting paid based on gross.
That's how we're doing it, but we're mapping everything out right now on one of the properties. So. I fucking lost track of why I said that, dude. There was some point on
new businesses.
Yeah, no, it was before that, but whatever, dude. Reading ZA's shit.
What do you think about GSA directly on tier 2, Mike? Because it still makes me nervous.
I'll let Clint answer that. I can't answer it because I don't do it, but I think that it's working very well for certain people that Clint hangs out with.
You know how to run it right? Would that be the linchpin?
You know, the key is what you said is like is tier 2, and the fact that that tier 1 is always going to be something there. So
yeah, but I mean, back in the day, I mean, I saw people getting in trouble with GSA. I'm not trying to tell people to do it or not do it, but I saw them getting in trouble just tier 2 to the tier 1 with GSA, and it was blowing shit up. But they're probably just like,
I think Mind is literally making a killing selling the services still, dude, like murdering it, dude. Like it works very well. I honestly would say that I think that the way people are doing GSA that are doing it well, I think that they have larger lists and they're not building those whole lists. To be honest, I think they're smart. And I think they know what they're doing. I actually know they know what they're doing, and I know that they're doing it not like spam back in the day. Different than what we would have done in 2014 or 15.
It took too much fucking time back in the day to not do spam.
Fuck, dude, I had goddamn like TBs of fucking lists. Right?
Yeah, how many fucking how many did you subscribe to? Did you subscribe to them or did you build your own?
I built my own, but then I just had people send me their shit, dude. I don't like it.
I could never get them to feed in. You know, it was supposed to like automatically feed in and refresh, and like I couldn't get it.
I still love. I think Link Wheel Bandit and FCS Networker with.
I loved FCS for videos, especially.
SE and all that shit. Like I used to sell the shit out of like Press and SE Nuke on like the forums like Wicked Fire.
Yeah. Is FCS still around?
SEO, all that shit.
FCS is still there.
Is it? Okay.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure Holly Stark still uses it.
Go find my network, so maybe I just didn't actually go try.
I'm
almost certain Holly Stark still uses it.
I mean, there's case studies from 2022.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at too. Huh.
Where the fuck is the actual site? Maybe my databases are still there, dude.
I
If
got
you
it.
do what Link Daddy does.
I don't see their fucking site.
Yeah, I think they might be down. Dude, this is like, we're talking like almost like 9 years ago or something, dude.
Mm-hmm.
We're old, bros.
Ranker X is the modern FCS.
So,
How is it?
I
Ranker X,
fucking hate the face on Ranker X.
You hate what?
Just a shit interface, man.
I got a buddy that has literally like 55 fucking automated servers of any robot that he just murders it with, dude. These damn Australians, man.
But if the content is real, posting
This is key right here, dude. Like, it all comes back down to that kind of shit. And the guys I know doing it well, it's not terabytes of fucking links going out all the time. It's actually fucking spot on. It's spot on.
That's what they were fucking saying when Jimmy was doing it, but I could never figure it out.
So
I'm not
like
a
what
smart
we're
man.
talking about on the live course kind of ties into that. Like, so what the benefit of what we're doing on the live course is leveraging some of the like the newer switches, but the FCS can actually accomplish some of it. Not FCS, GSA can actually like CERT can actually accomplish some of it through like maintaining things and everything. So again, it's back like it's like the AI, dude. It's like if I give GSA and a list to somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, they're not going to fucking do good or they're going to hurt shit. And if I give it to someone who knows what they're doing, then they are going to be able to do it, right? It's who's using it. Clint, how's your engagement, bro? If you're still there.
Well, how do you use your tools on a daily basis?
But
Well, that's the thinking. That's the difference in thinking, I think, of what some people are doing versus what other people are doing.
Spin Rewriter with a protection list from Cognitive or whatever type of that program that you want to use will go a long way.
Which is actually the process that you're using. One day we will have to put together for people because it's a solid process the way you're doing.
I've been through it multiple times. I'm not hearing it for anyone. I'm tired of this shit.
We've taught it so many times, but
I'm not doing it. No, they can do it themselves. It's fine. I don't care. As soon as I get into Craig's mastermind.
Are we going to Orlando or where are we going, dude?
I don't know where we're going. Where are you going?
An event.
I'm not doing an event.
Okay, no event.
No.
Oh, is that how it is? Is that how it is,
Yeah.
guys?
I mean,
What event?
content skill.
I'm just safeguarding the poor bastards in the mastermind from you animals. I don't want you fucking dirty in all their minds.
I'll be completely honest. I'll never log in, Craig. Send me login though.
Yeah.
Never log in. I'll
So
never
you-
watch a
Go
webinar.
in to steal ideas from people.
Yeah, that's what I do.
That's all I want to do.
Nah, what we can do is I can just tell the guys we're having you two on, and they can just pick your brain, and you can come in and see everyone. See how.
How's that any different than what we do here?
Talking.
That's true.
Face to face. It's like the meeting shit we did with fucking NFG with switching.
Well, come on. I'm not giving out my Fiverr list though.
I'll make him put out my list. The one that doesn't
Chris
work.
has a list that is the list. I've no doubt Chris has got some good shit there going on.
I would say that there's a validation thing in everything that you're doing every day when you're doing GSA, but that's all.
Who would you say is the best black hat SEO? Not like, I guess dark gray hat, because I don't want to say black hat because that's illegal. But who's the best dark gray hat SEO that you?
Yeah, who's that now?
Yeah, who's at the top?
It's really difficult because I think people are niching into smaller areas of SEO, so it's not like, you know, you've got guys that are really good at certain things. So I think it's very hard to say who really is the dirtiest, blackest guy that I've ever come across. Like,
No, just best SEO that practices dark gray.
you've
Right.
probably got a dude like Clint.
Yeah, I wouldn't
It's
fuck
got
with
to
him.
be up there.
Yeah, he would be up there. I didn't ask who's up there though.
Who's the best?
Who's the best?
Who's the best?
Pete.
Pete, I've got a friend. Peter Van de Graaf. Peter Van de Graaf was.
Is that the guy from Turkey with the goatee?
Nah.
Who's that guy?
No, that's Dracula, bro.
That's
Yeah,
Dracula.
he talks like Dracula, looks like Dracula. But he put out that big case study that was everyone was crapping themselves about.
Torre, the fucking
Torre, yeah.
Something like
he used
that.
to hang out with Batista or whatever.
Batista.
Fuck, I can't.
Van de
Peter
Graaf.
Van der Graaf.
Van de Graaf's a bad man. But he went all agency shit, and he's just sold his agency. So he went all clean, done the agency thing, sold off the agency. He's now come back to.
When you understand
I
enough,
do both. I mean, why would you not do both? Why would you not save the dark gray hat stuff for your own?
if you, I would say Amin is a pimp.
Peter Van der Graaf says he's an American singer and radio personality.
So the guys that I think had like any skill that you took from Black Hat, right? You have the skill that you ran or whatever from Gray.
Is this the guy that was doing all the content sites? He's pushing that, right?
Nah.
Is that who that is?
He's a smart dude, man. So like the guys that were doing a lot of cloaking, the money they make doing personalization for people now because it's just fucking legitimate cloaking is insane, right? And the people that understand how to make a good list, that understand how to make like link building work, they can understand content. They can understand like what's going on with the fucking industry right now. And the shift over into white hat, it's kind of amazing to see a black hat kind of use that for white hat tactics because it becomes something above and beyond. Like when we have been able to take some of the stuff we've done in the past and put it into more of a white hat setting, it excels.
we were doing straight up black hat. It was straight. They're like, we need more traffic. All right, cool. So I had a bot, and I pressed the button, and it closed 300 sites while we're at lunch. They're like, damn, how'd you do that?
Yeah. Hey, okay. Yeah, when you take into white hat for those companies, then it still does a fucking wonderful job because you have to understand the core aspects of everything working instead of, I need to, I'm doing EAT where I just need expertise, authority, and trust. What the fuck is that, right? It's a ranking factor. Oh, is it? Or is it not, right?
That's what I do. I just sit there the whole time and talk to him like this.
That's like the golden shovel in the corner, bro.
Yeah, that dude. He was on our nuts.
Dude, when you walk in an office and a guy has a fucking shovel, a golden shovel in his fucking case there, like a real size shovel that's gold, it's kind of interesting to see that like way that person thinks.
It's that, and they've got Fox News on the big screen right there. Yeah, they're like, oh, there it is. It's like
fucking shovel, dude.
Yeah, today's good-looking blonde chick in a business suit. They were all drooling. We did do some shit that was dude, we didn't do it, but it was extraordinarily black hat.
Literally to fucking 9.5 million a week, dude.
Yeah.
No joke, dude. Like it was fucking insane.
But it got to the point where the guy that was running the show, who had brought us on to help him with SEO, he was getting too far out there even for us, and we're like, dude, we gotta. I told Mike, I was like, we got to step back. Like, this is not right. So we stepped back. They were doing some shit that was like, dude.
Oh, you're talking about that market.
Lending. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not payday even. But yeah, you were doing it in one that's, it's like, I don't want to be a part of this, so I stepped back. I even have my limits, which is hard to believe.
Well, you can't go to jail, dude. They got kids. There's certain things you shouldn't do anymore.
Yeah. 2 Eastern, James, is the first one.
What time?
2 Eastern. An hour after this thing ends.
Yeah. I'm going to take
cool.
I got to go get food. I got to actually think about what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, we better throw some slides together. No refunds, too. It says it on the page.
Just fucking throw up a replay of this.
That's someone asked me today. They're like, "Are these live?"
Yeah, we'll stream this back into it. It's AI, bro. It's AI.
Yeah, you've got Robot Mike.
I could literally, no, honestly, the deep fake shit I'm doing right now, like I've been playing with taking people's talks off YouTube and like putting like my face or your face or Craig's face on it and letting, like just throwing out like it's like that video, dude. It's just fucking hilarious, dude. Some of the shit you can do with the some of these libraries out there, it's rad, bro. It's really cool.
Getting services to increase DA, good or bad, Mike?
Not good. It's a waste of money, and if anyone, it's a real thing.
Anyone promoting a service like that, just go away from them. Do regular link building. You're going to build your DA or whatever, DA, DR, or TF, whatever you want to look at. You're going to build that naturally.
Craig,
you remember a Fiverr gig for everyone? It will actually increase your rankings and your DR from a 0.
Dude, I can get you it. I think like the latest one I saw is like it's like DA 60 or it's DA 50 plus with like DR 30 for like $75 or something, dude. But that's like a retail version of it, not like a do-it-yourself. You mentioned like the virtual reality shit, dude. Some of the shit that I was looking at yesterday, dude. Google has done some really cool shit around advertising in VR, and they just were granted some patents all over it, dude. It's like pretty sick, dude.
That's where Facebook's going, or Meta now.
Yeah, Meta's all right. We need to do like
a webinar on this shit.
Where's yours, Brad? Where's yours?
I gotta get one.
Dude, I can literally fucking punch you. Virtual reality.
I can't afford it. Have you seen Canelo doing the VR boxing?
Actually,
seen that video? It's pretty badass.
Someone said show the one, but let me see.
NFTwebinar.com is the webinar, the Webby today. ZA Electrical Limited.
Under Brad's name.
Let's see.
I feel like one of those, the claw thing at the fair.
That is the show. Show.
Inputs generate content response to navigable voice space search. User based on triggering event, I think it's the patent for reality.
Imagine like full size billboards and like VR. That's display ads coming up.
Methods and apparatus related to determining a triggering event of a user, selecting media relevant to the triggering event and providing the selected media to the user. And that, I think, is the one. I think it's called providing media to a user based on triggering events. And it's pending. It's not granted, actually. Never mind. I thought this was the granted one. This is the one.
I'll tell you a funny story.
That's about images and not the VR shit. I'll find it and throw it out there or something.
But I'll tell you a funny story. A whole bunch of SEO guys I know all bought these VR headsets just on my recommendation.
Is that Oculus?
Yeah. And we were on for like an hour, and you just seen people dropping off very quickly, like out of the lobbies and shit that we were in. And everyone had to have a lie down after an hour with that fucking thing on. They felt physically sick.
I've heard that.
That's the only fucking thing. It's so fucking weird. And I felt shit as well. I had to go for a lie down as well, but yeah, it's funky shit, man. But
it'll continually improve.
Digital Dex is asking, anyone else in here get any C&D from their Black Hat Ventures? What the hell's C&D?
I don't know.
Cease and desist, it's a US thing. Like whatever.
All the time. Didn't you just an NFG member, I don't know if you were involved, they got a cease and desist and then got it overturned.
Yeah, that was DMCI, I think.
Yeah, DMCI. Yeah.
Usually, I try not to be able to be found if I'm at risk of someone saying stop. I don't want them to know how to get it.
Then the worst thing that's going to happen is Cloudflare or whomever is going to take your site down.
I think the last one that was able to find me was 2009 or something like that. You could harden yourself more if they can. Find
images will get you in trouble quicker than content.
Yeah, I haven't been sued for an image for. I'd say 2010 or 11 was the last time. You just want to make sure that you protect yourself with that. So, evaluate what it looks like and how it performs. I would still put it up and see what it's going on personally. But it'd be interesting to see if it actually. I mean, I'm sure it is, but I would still put it up personally.
Yeah, I think I had a friend yesterday when we were talking about this, and he had this content. He ran it through, and it said it was like whatever percentage fake. He then ran it through Grammarly and edited it a bit, and it made it even faker. How the fuck are they calculating that fakeness? Like, so by correcting the spelling and tweaking it slightly, made it worse according to the
I don't
output.
put a lot of faith in a lot of that kind of analysis personally, but you know.
But what is fake, really? You know, it's
everything's recreated. It's the internet.
Yeah. Digital Deck says, bro, imagine. I don't even think Digital Dex is really called Digital Dex, is he?
Nah.
Digital dicks.
Digital.
Sorry.
And I'm not doing that picture, Digital Dex, because I was going to say, like, I know that guy's face in that picture.
Which
I don't
one?
know why. Digital Dex is.
I'm gonna change mine to the guy eating pizza in the shower.
Yeah, that's rad.
It was like
Josh Boomer, go by Fiverr links. I love it.
But Brad stole a guy's picture. Never thought he'd be outed, and I looked at his fucking landing page and I'm like,
never cared if I'd be outed is the main thing.
It's still there, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't take it down.
It'll go away. I like that.
It's not gonna go.
That guy's cute.
Yeah, I like that.
That
He reminds me of a guy at the gym.
oh. The pizza face guy. But he's not in this industry, so he's no chance. But yeah. But we have a couple of minutes left, guys. So if you've got any last minute questions, put it in here. But these guys do have a webby.
I gotta go. Shit. It's nftwebinar.com.
And make sure after you purchase, you're going to be taken to, we'll see you on the webinars. Create your account after that without clicking away.
Guys, we're going over concept today with the first process, and that process turns into the second process, and then the third process, and then you've got linking done and recovery from core done, and all that fun shit. And yeah, and actually just better ranking and money. It's the money at the end of the day, anyway.
It's all about the money.
It's all about
dollar bills, y'all. Remember, speaking about the good old days at OMG, where they made David Mills think that Earp was in there saying FBs get money, and it had a picture of scantily clad women behind him. Someone photoshopped that real quick, saying David Mills. Never seen that dude. I think that dude's never run until that day.
Someone took a picture of, got a picture of the speaker, and it's the guy's event, and they take a picture and they put like this presentation on of like this chick in a bikini. He's in front. It says FBs get money, and they bring it out and show him. They go, look what he's presenting, man. And
they're like, "Can you believe what's going on at your event?" He's like, "Oh no!" And he jumps up, gone.
Was that the one that was like he was all no, never, I won't say that.
That was the one where you did the one with Mike and Derek.
Okay.
Buying links from Fiverr, I don't think so good because many people. It depends on which Fiverr link. Audi 5000.
You can get those same kind of things going on any marketplace. You just need to. It's a matter, like Brad said. We've tried different things. So some that are good. There's a bunch of scams too. So yeah, it's you need to know what or be told what for sure.
Maybe. Yeah, you need to know or you need to test, so you will know. So either way.
I'm gonna go get food.
I'd be curious to know how much money you actually bumped before you got to the good guys.
I just overpaid in the beginning and found them quickly.
$1 million.
No, it's not hard. I mean, just look at them.
Yep. I do
No
know.
problem, Digital Dicks. We appreciate you being here. You ever noticed that not many people come back twice? I don't know why.
It's always one.
Yeah.
Someone's like, can you put that in an SOP form? No, you put it in an SOP form. I think the guy that asked that hasn't been back. It's either that or he changes. It's probably Digital Dicks.
It's live. We're doing it live today, and then we do.
It is live, yeah. Everyone will have access to the replays though. But when and if we sell the replays, it's going to be more than what it is now. So go ahead and get it, and then you'll be ready. So, plus we got a phenomenal surprise coming on Wednesday.
You have a surprise at the end of it for people that are there. So
people that are there live, so
Yeah.
you'll be pleased.
Give us a teaser. What the fuck's the surprise before we go?
Nah,
It's not a surprise if I tell you, Craig.
don't want it for everybody.
We're off air now.
No, we're not. I see the red. Off air doesn't come that quickly.
Nah, anyway, guys, we are out of time, but do check out nfgwebinar.com.
Gotta go rest up.
There is free Fiverr links for everyone, apparently, if you sign up.
Sure.
Yeah.
There won't be good ones, but yeah.
It's from our account if it exists.
Yes.
But
I've never even logged into Fiverr, to be honest.
fucking hell. Anyway, guys, enjoy the webinar series. Sign up, nfgwebinar.com, and we will catch you guys back at the same time next week. See you guys later.
Bye bye.